Welcome to the podcast for online fitness coaches. I'm Benji Tucker, and together with Ethan Gonzalez, we scaled each of our fitness businesses from 0 to 80K in just 4 months. On this podcast, you'll hear how to get more online fitness clients, make more profit from each of them, how to keep them longer, and the many failures and lessons we have learned on our path to a combined 160K per month. Today, I'll be talking about the 5 types of follower ads that you need to know. Okay, so first question that people are naturally going to ask is, why follower ads? Why do we need to run follower ads? And it's simple, right? We have our 4P system. P1 is premium offer, and that's great. Your offer is the foundation of your business, but it means nothing if you don't have that water faucet turned on and you don't have people coming in, right? So that's why P2 in our 4P system is promotion, okay? Now, follower ads are, I'm going to answer the question of why ads as opposed to organic. And, I beat this like a dead horse, but organic, if you post it every single day, three times a day, 365 days a year, you're still only going to have like a couple % chance of one freaking post going viral. Okay. And that's great. We hear these success stories, but at the end of the day, it's like we see these success stories from business coaches, from these fit coach mentors who have like thousands of clients, and they constantly show like the top 1 or 2 people. Okay. That's not something that's not a rinse and repeat system that's going to work for everyone. Okay. I was at the gym today. I met this dude named Tyrone, and he was talking about muscle memory and coming back into the gym. And he said something along the lines of, if I've got the recipe, you could always cook it up. Right. And it's also true when it comes to having the right funnel for an online business. Okay. The recipe is, there's a non-existent recipe when it comes to organic. Okay. That's like, there's luck involved. Even if you're consistent, you also need to have this amazing attribute about you. Maybe you're a roided, jacked guy. Maybe you got something else weird going on. Like maybe you got like a missing arm and it's like really motivational. Who knows? Right. But when you run ads, you're guaranteeing traffic, you're guaranteeing eyeballs. So you're not working for the eyeballs. You're making valuable content towards the eyeballs that you know are going to come because you're paying for them. And if you're putting $1 in to a slot machine and getting, let's just say, $3 out every single time, who the fuck wouldn't keep putting in more money, right? So everyone's always worried like, oh, ads are so scary. Oh, what if I lose money? When you have systems in place, you could put $1 in and get 3, 4, 5, $6+ out. And if you're scared, well, then this isn't fucking for you running a business like this, honestly, right? Because, Ethan and I have invested in mentors that have worked, have not worked. We've invested, at this point, it's probably $150,000 to $200,000 into our own education to be able to scale our businesses. Okay. So ads are just another form of investment for you to learn and get data and feedback to get one step closer to succeeding. Right? Your money is good. Like if you're not worth millions and millions of dollars, your money is good for nothing other than investing into yourself in order to be able to improve and get one step closer to having that cash cow. Okay. So now I'll answer the question of why follower ads out of all the types of ads. And the truth be told is that all ads work, all funnels work. It just comes down to the person running them, the messaging within them. That being said, there's still funnels that are better for people in specific situations. I believe follower ads are the best ones from the data that we have and from all of the things that we have tested across our clientele and ourselves. Okay. So we are in what has been coined a trust recession, but I'm going to call it a trust crash. I don't think anyone trusts anyone anymore. People are less likely to show up to calls. We're seeing this data across the board. Okay. Now, when you're asking someone to follow you, though, it's very different than asking someone to click on a landing page to, book in a call with you. All you're doing is asking someone to click follow. And so when we call out our target demographic and direct traffic towards our IG page, if you have very valuable content towards that person, why the heck wouldn't they follow you? Right? You're asking them to follow because you're providing them value. You're giving them actionable tips specific to them in their life situation where they could actually see a tangible change in their life for free. So why wouldn't they do that? Right? So this is the first type of ad that we want to run as fitness coaches. And yes, there's more advanced things we could do. There's things we could, ways we could retarget these people into different types of funnels and stuff like that. But follower ads are the lowest hanging fruit that could get you good results. If you can't get anything to work with follower ads, you're never going to get any types of ads to work. Okay, I can promise you that. So let's go through the 5 types of follower ads. And if you're watching this, right, maybe you're a beginner, but we don't want as many beginners here. You're welcome. But at the same time, it's like, if you're watching this and you've been in the industry for a long time, you probably have seen follower ads, and not just seen them, but been bombarded with them. And you're probably recognizing that it sounds like people are reading off of a script. It's because they fucking are. So the first type of follower ad, it's probably the one you recognize the most, is the standard talking head ad. Hey, are you a corporate executive woman struggling to lose 30 plus pounds, blah, blah, blah? If so, give me a follow here on my Instagram, where I'll show you exactly how to, lose 30 pounds of fat without giving up wine on the weekends with your friends. Okay, cool. So that's the first style of follower ad. And it still works, by the way, right? But what we don't want to do is come off as overly scripted. We also want to follow good principles. We want to have a good, clean, crisp ad, very professional, quality audio. We want captions to be there. We want our tonality to be good. We want the projection of our voice to be good. We want to make sure we're accentuating certain words. Okay, all of these things are critical, right? Because I could have the same script as the next person, but one person, it's like, wow, this guy's reading off a freaking script. Like, what a fucking loser, right? And then I read it, and it's a profitable ad. Okay, so how you deliver the copy itself of the ad is very important. Okay, so that's ad type number 1. The second follower ad type is a B-roll ad. So it's something as simple as, let's say I am targeting corporate, more like, let's say I'm targeting teachers, right? I have someone in my program, Odarius, that's targeting teachers. So let's say I'm targeting teachers. I'm in the classroom, and I have a B-roll of me in the classroom showing something on the chalkboard, or me grading assignments, right? And so that would be the B-roll, and it would pop up, hey, teachers age 30 to 50, right? Are you struggling to lose 30 plus pounds of stubborn belly fat? Next B-roll, or just next captions. If so, give me a follow at Odarius, where I'll show you how to drop 30 pounds and X, Y, and Z. Right? So that's the B-roll follower ad. And these typically what we see, and it can be different across the board, but it's going to be a cheaper cost per follow, not always better quality, sometimes worse, but playing that volume game can work really well. And some people get a cheaper cost per follow while maintaining high quality. Okay, so it's definitely worth a test. So that's the second type. The third type of follower ad is a value-based post that you made without like even any call to action to follow you even necessarily. Just the post, like let's say it's you're telling more 9-to-5 corporate desk workers, hey, stop doing cardio if you want to lose weight, and you're talking about the metabolism, whatever, you're giving them value, right? Maybe it's, and I know this content isn't doing as well anymore, but hey, here's the 3 best ways to lose fat if you're a firefighter or something like that. You don't even need a call to action to follow at that, but boosting that ad with the profile visit goal. And always boost, by the way, from desktop. If you don't and you do it on mobile, you're going to pay like 15% more, which, why the fuck would you do that? Don't do that. This could work really well because it's very organic seeming. And when things seem organic, they work really well. Watch my last episode on authenticity and you'll understand what I'm talking about. So that's the third type of follower ad. The fourth type of follower ad is the carousel post. Carousel post you can do in one of 2 ways. You can have it as a Twitter style feed, or you can just have it as text with different slides. Okay, it doesn't have to be Twitter style. But I'll use the Twitter style as an example. Let's just say, hey, corporate woman in menopause need to follow these 3 tips to drop 30 pounds, right? And I will give value piece number 1, value piece number 2, value piece number 3, maybe make another slide before that. That's more qualifying as well. And then, hey, give me a follow at Benji.Tucker Fit for more, right? Or for more tips. And boom, right? That's another style follower ad right there. Okay, so we don't need to just follow the one standard style talking head necessarily. Now, the last one is this: social proof ads. And I don't see a lot of people doing this, but they work freaking great, especially if you have phenomenal social proof. If you have someone that's like the billboard result of your company, right? If you want to work with 40-year-old men, like let's just say like the average of your people, 40-year-old men, 30 pounds overweight, working a desk job in finance, and you have a guy that ticks off all of those boxes and he got shredded and he has an amazing transformation. There's a couple ways you could do this. One, you could talk about, you could just be talking head and have pop-ups on the screen and or green screen it and be like, hey, I can't believe, my client Tom was able to drop 30 pounds with a finance job, blah, blah, blah. Here's how he did it. And then you could be like, if you want to know like more tips on how Tom did this, give me a follow, right? Another way that's like super organic, and I think it's a pretty sweet way to do this, is have a before and after kind of. It seems like Facebook's allowing before and afters again, or you could at least have, don't take my word for that 100%. That's just like what Ethan and I's experience has been. But still, you have your client's transformation in data and whatnot on your computer screen, and you have your phone, and you film the screen and without you even in it in the beginning, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe my client Tom, who works a corporate finance job, was able to lose 30 pounds in just 4 months without, doing endless cardio or restricting his favorite foods, like, and just going into that, right? Talk a little bit, you could go through even slides if you want to about his story, that client's story, and then give value through that, and then be like, flip around the screen, right? And now it's you talking directly to the camera. And then it's, if you want to know the exact same steps Tom followed in order to drop those 30 pounds while working a corporate finance job, then give me a follow, click the button below at benjitucker.fit, right? We could do posts like that as well. That is the 5th follower ad type. So guys, we have run through every single follower ad type now. There is 5 of them that I have listed here. So you can get very creative with this. Okay, it doesn't just have to be standard talking head. You also have B-roll. You have the value based content boosted. You have your carousel post, and you have your social proof ads. Okay. Now, it's very important to understand though, one thing. If like you do a standard talking head ad and it doesn't work, I wouldn't just jump ship right away and say, well, that doesn't work, that style, so let me try the B-roll ad right away. Give it a little bit more effort into trying an ad format multiple times over, because maybe it's just you that sucks, not the ad format itself. Maybe how you accentuate certain words, your tonality, the projection of your voice. Maybe these things aren't that good. Maybe you are speaking very slow, very quietly, right? Consider these things before just jumping ship to a new ad type or a new follower ad format rather. Okay. So guys, that pretty much wraps it up. Thanks for watching this episode of the podcast for online fitness coaches. If you want to learn how to scale your fitness business to 10 to 20K a month, just message this client on Instagram at PT Launchpad, spelled with no spaces, and we'll reach out with more info. Take care.